Alright, so today we're going to learn about color theory. This is for the Sketchbook Friday assignment. Color is, color is the element of art derived from reflected or absorbed light. Color adds interest and mood to a work of art. It's also referred to as hue. So hue is the second name for color. That being said, so again, keywords to remember for this one is interest and mood to your work of art. So color can drastically change any work of art that you're using. So first things first, when learning about color, you have your primary colors. The three primary colors are the colors that make every color in the world, with addition to black and white. So black and white are not considered primary colors, they're neutral colors. So we got our primary colors. And we have red, yellow, and blue. So with your crayons or colored pencils, go ahead and color one box red, one box yellow, and one box blue. Those are your primary colors. So combinations of these three colors in addition to black and white make up every single color that you can see and or think of today. So red, yellow, and blue. After our primary colors, we have our secondary colors. So looking over here, our secondary colors, they're going to be made out of two primary colors. So when you combine two primary colors together, you get a secondary. So for secondaries, we're going to have orange, yes, and then green and purple. So orange, green, and purple are our secondary colors. So secondary colors, again, is just two primary colors combined. So for purple, which two primary colors do you think combined together would create purple? Liv? Red and blue, that is correct. So underneath your purple, color in your red box and a blue box. And then we have our secondary color, green. Which two colors combined would create green? Blue and yellow. So to create green, you need blue and yellow. And then our third secondary color is orange. And which two colors combined of our primary colors would make our secondary color orange? Yes. Red and yellow? That is correct. So secondary colors, orange, green, and purple. And they are made up of two primary colors. And moving on to your tertiary colors. So this is a fancy word. Tertiary is a primary and secondary combined. So for example, if you were to combine blue and purple together, you get blue-violet. Or yellow and green, yellow-green, red-orange, so on and so forth. So when doing the tertiary colors, so for example, if I wanted to red-orange, So I'm going to come down here and give myself a primary color and a secondary at the bottom. And then I need to mix these colors together. So I'm going to do one layer of orange, lightly pressing down, and then coming back with a red. And then you can kind of do that one more time on both colors, so that way it gets nice and blended together. And then you have red, orange. And if you need to, you can always label it too. So red, orange. Then we have yellow, orange. So again, a tertiary is primary and secondary combined. So yellow, orange, and recombine. And yellow, green. So again, we have our primary and secondary, and then you layer them on top to blend them together. Depending on the material that you're using, so sometimes you have to mix them. So for example, if it's paint, you can actually mix it before painting it, the yellow and green together. When it's pastels, colored pencil, crayons, you're going to be layering them on top of each other and blending as you go. So that's why it's easier to start with lighter layers at first and build those layers up, because if you color really dark, it's hard for those colors to mix and combine. Then we're going to have blue, green. So light layer of blue, come back with my green. And then a second layer of both. Bless you. And then we have red, violet, or red, purple. Violet and purple are the same color. Some people say violet, some people say purple. It will kind of change the color based on the material that you're using. So red, and then purple. And second layer of each. And my next one is going to be my blue violet, or blue purple. So blue, violet, blue and purple. So far we have our primary colors. Again, that's red, yellow, and blue. All three of these combined will make any color in the world. So then taking our primaries, we can get our secondaries. So for example, for purple, we have red and blue makes purple. Green, we have blue and yellow makes green. Orange, red and yellow makes orange. When you combine primary and secondary, you then get tertiary colors. And that's when you have like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, green, red and violet, and blue, violet. So all those really fun colors. And again, these are the main colors. These are not like our tints, tones, and shades, which we're about to learn about, which is adding like white, gray, or black to those colors. We do need to go ahead and do our color wheel. So right over here to the right, this circle that we see is the color wheel. So when learning about color, because all our colors are friends with each other and one another are used to create each other, we're going to use the color wheel for it. So coming right here, what I want you to do is start at the top. We'll start at this one, and I'm going to write red. Then I need to have red, orange. So if I have red, red, orange, what should go here? Orange, because in between orange and red is red, orange. Then I'm going to have yellow, orange. If yellow, orange is between, what would come after the yellow, orange? Yellow. And after yellow, we're going to have yellow, green. The next one would be green. Yes, it would. And then we'll have blue, green. And then blue. Then we'll be getting into our blue, violet. And remember, violet and purple are two names for the same color. Then we'll be getting into violet or purple. What would be the last color? Yes, red, violet. And then before you color, use your pencil and or Sharpie, marker, pen. We're going to label it. So, primary colors, again, are red, yellow, blue. So, where you see red, yellow, blue, I want you to put a big old P for primary colors. So big old P for primary colors. Or just color really hard with your pencil. Secondary colors are what? So purple, green, and orange. We're going to put a big old S. So wherever you see a secondary color, put an S. So orange, green, and purple. And then we have our tertiary colors in between the primaries and secondaries. So put a T for tertiary. And once you have it labeled, I want you to start adding your colors to your color wheel. So start with your primaries because that's what's easiest. So our red, yellow, and blue. And then you want to get your secondary colors, which is orange, green, and purple, so where the S's are. Make sure you are paying attention to what you have labeled, and then it matches up with the color. So orange where orange should go, green's where green should go, purple where purple should go. And I'm coloring deeply on these colors since I'm not having to blend the other colors to make those. And then once I have that, I can start doing my tertiary colors, like my blue violet and red violet. So I'm going to do a thin layer of each. And then come back with another layer on top of each color. And then I can move on to my other tertiary colors, like my yellow and blue greens. So again, light layer of each one when using materials like crayons, pastels, colored pencils, all that other stuff, because it's easier to blend doing lighter layers in between versus trying to go super dark of each color. When using things like paint or watercolor, you can actually mix it prior to applying it to the surface that you're painting. And I'm even going to darken up my original colors. Bless you. And my other tertiary colors, which would be my red, orange, and yellow, orange. And then come back with my other colors right on top. And then we have our nice colorful color wheel that's nice and labeled. As you finish up this, I just want y'all to kind of come down here to our bottom, and then I'll let you finish up. So our neutral colors down here, that's going to be our like non-colorful colors. So that's going to be like our black, white, apricots, flesh tones, browns, any neutral colors. So that means it's not vibrant like these ones. So you have ones like black and white. Gray, which in order to make gray, it is black and white combined together. You have colors like apricot or other flesh tones, and brown. These are just some basic ones that come in any crayon box or colored pencil box. There are a lot more neutral colors than are what provided. But again, we have black, white, gray, apricot, browns, or any really flesh tones that you notice. And y'all will have to draw these little boxes. Sorry, they were not included on the paper, so you'll want to draw, write neutral colors, draw a little line, and give yourself 5 little boxes. So in this right-hand corner, write neutral colors, draw a line underneath, and give yourself 5 boxes. So again, for neutral colors, you have black, white, and gray, which in order to make gray, you got to combine black and white together, and that will equal gray. And then we have brown, an apricot, or like a peach color, or any flesh tones. So flesh tones are neutral colors. So browns, grays, blacks, whites, and any derivatives of those colors. And then jumping over to where it says tint. So a tint means you got to add white to it. So for example, if we get blue in one box, or any other color that you want, and then add white, so put white in this blank box, and then we layer those colors together, we're going to get a tint or a lighter version of that color. So what happened to the blue? It got lighter, so it turned into kind of like a light blue or a sky blue. So that is tint. Tint is when you add white. Then we have tone. Tone is when we add gray. So for a tone, you can get your little gray box and a gray layer. Pick a color that you want to add. So I'm going to try purple this time. And fill in your little boxes. Layer those right on top. So it'll still be lighter, but it won't be as light as the white. It'll be kind of a duller version. Okay. And then we have shade. Shade is when you add black to a color. So that's adding like your shadows, different values. So if we're gonna add black to a color, and I'm gonna do, let's do red. So because it's black, I'm gonna start with my lighter color first, and then mix my black in. So red and black. So you can combine those two colors together so that you can get that shade. So that's red and black combined together. So red and black. Sorry, I'm videoing. And that way you have your shade. So again, tint is adding white to a color, so for example, blue and white equals light blue, or red and white would equals pink. Then you have gray, which is adding a tone. So it would be purple and gray, and then you get a nice toned purple. And then you have shade. Shade is when you add black to a color. So black and red combined equals that dark kind of auburny red. After completing your neutral colors, your tints, tones, and shades, you're going to go on to color schemes. So color scheme is basically like a rule or like a friendship between colors. So it's what colors work or well with each other. I have two different color schemes up here on your paper. So we have analogous color scheme. That's colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So that means they're right next to each other. These colors are often found in nature. So keywords, nature, and are harmonious, pleasing to the eyes. For example, we have blue, green, green, and yellow, green. So I want you to find 3 colors that are immediately next to each other. So that'd be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that means all 3 are next to each other. And you're gonna fill in those boxes. Typically, when you do this, you have like 1 color and 2 tertiary colors on the side. So you either have a primary with 2 tertiaries or a secondary with 2 tertiaries. You can combine it if you want to have secondary, tertiary, and primary together. So I'm going to be doing the green, and then blue, green, and yellow, green. So analogous color schemes. So when doing your projects in the future, you can refer to this worksheet that we did to help you determine what colors you might want for your project, what colors to work better with each other. You can always try doing different color combinations on a separate paper as well. And then we have complementary color schemes. So these are opposite. Remember, the other ones are next to each other. So these are opposite each other on the color wheel. These colors contrast with each other and make a work look vibrant. For example, we have red and green. So if you were to find red, completely opposite is green. Orange, opposite, blue. Yellow, the opposite's purple. So those are complementary colors. Even your tertiary, red, violet, and yellow, green are opposite. Blue, green, and red, orange. Blue, violet, yellow, orange. Okay, so all these colors are opposite one another, and that's a complement. So primary and secondaries, or 2 tertiaries. So pick which colors that are opposite each other that you want to include for your example. So I'm going to be doing red and green. And then that would complete my color theory sheet. Okay, this video is also going to be uploaded to the YouTube page if you need to review it. I'm going to give you the remainder of class to finish this, and then you can start on your sketchbook assignment, which is color. I'll be putting examples on the board.